Louisiana's finest. I say, who that? R.I.P. Tom Benson. Shout out to the whole Who That Nation. Now who that? That fever, that flavor, that funk. I say who that? That fever, that flavor, that funk. Ooh, who that? That fever, that flavor, that funk. I say who that? That fever, that flavor, that funk. You got that fever? Yeah, yeah, that fever for the flavor. Got that flavor? Yeah, yeah, that flavor for the funk. You got that fever? Yeah, yeah, that fever for the flavor. Got that flavor? Yeah, yeah, that flavor for the funk. I got that fever, my people. See, we not equal, my people. I'm like that dog saint underneath the steeple, my people. Got Drew Brees, he the feature, and our defense the sequel. The D-line and linebackers, man, they coming to reach ya. Make enemies some believers, cause we overachievers. DBC 50-50 balls, and we call them keepers. Y'all can follow this leader, cause Sean Payton will teach ya.
NewOrleans.Football listeners, Saints Talk listeners, whatever you listen to, whatever you want to call us, we here, we back. It's another week of Saints Talk. I'm here, Kevin Washington, with my guy Nick Underhill, man behind NewOrleans.Football. Hopefully you got a good answer this time, but Nick, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
That's a good response, man.
Yeah.
You're getting better. I like the growth. I like the growth. Yeah, slow progress is better than no progress. All right, thank you. As always, guys, welcome to Saints Talk. We're here to talk about the Saints and things that are transpiring in the Saints. And it's always something with this team. It's always exciting. It's always a talking point. And we're here to break them all down. As you guys know, the Saints took a loss this past week to the Giants. Fan base is in uproar. The sky's falling. And we're here to, just put it back to the ceiling, put some hammers and nails up there and, repair this thing. And, you can sleep in it for the night. So, Nick, high level.
Before we do that, the podcast as always is presented by Daniel Sant, CPA. So straight up, I use Daniel. Daniel's my CPA. I met with him today, and we're starting to work with him. This is our first tax cycle with him. Real talk, no lying. The man figured out how to save me $20,000 on taxes first meeting. So hey, if you got a business and you want to have somebody that's good at what they're doing and you like $20,000, call my guy. For real. And that's just a real life testimonial. I'm not blowing smoke. I mean, that's a factual event that happened. So some CPAs are better than other CPAs, and my CPA is probably better than your CPA. Yeah. So call my CPA. So are you a business owner needing some guidance with your daily accounting? Daniel Sant, CPA, can help get your finances in order. They provide relevant accounting information, detailed analysis, and clear communication in a timely manner. Call today, 318-321-2765, or visit santcpa.com. I mean, I can't say more for the man than that.
Hey, listen, I'm just waiting for you to buy out his business and then come in here and say, I'm not only the client, I'm the player president.
Nah, that ain't gonna happen though. My man's doing too well. I don't got to do that. But hey, I'm just saying, we met up. He saved us. He found us, $20,000 in savings that our last accountant didn't have for him.
So if I ask you for a raise, you literally cannot say you don't have it because you just said.
See how my car works is there's debit and savings.
Where my NewOrleans.Football bank account is set up and see, I got it, but it's not got it. It's had it, but way down. It's all good. Get your taxes right, man. Listen, I've had the IRS come after me before. It was over $1,000. I was like, bro, y'all could have let me pay. Y'all could have let that pass, bro. Y'all could have let that pass. If I'd had Daniel, I wouldn't have had that problem clearly, right? But I'm just saying, you don't want them dudes calling up your neck, man. They'll garnish your check. I didn't get that far. I was just trying to fight it. And it was like, no, Mr. Washington, here's what we can do. And I was like, oh, okay, check. But so get your taxes right, because life ain't right when it ain't. So,
all right. So
Saints, what happened? Is it bad as it looked at times? What's going on with this team? Is this team a good team? We got all these questions we got to talk about this podcast. Let's start high level. Guys, the film study article is on the site. It's right now. Go check it out. Read it, learn it, study it, understand what happened, and it'll give you some insight into the game. But just, high level, because as always, we don't give away the articles, but what happened in that game, and why do you think they lost?
Well, I mean, as we said after the game on the members only pod, like obviously there was a points issue for the offense, and when you allow 21 points in regulation in the NFL, you have to win that game. I mean, there's just and you aren't against an elite defense or anything like that in a game against.
That's true.
If you're playing the Rams and you lose a game where you can't score, sure. I mean, that's a little bit more understandable. The Bills, maybe, if you're playing a very good defense, sure. But that isn't the case here. So,
right.
A, they didn't score enough points. But B, I mean, going through the film, I mean, I just think it was just a bad game for the defense too. And I don't put it on the defense first again, but I thought the defense played pretty poorly relative to who they've been. I think both cornerbacks had a really rough game, and that isn't who they've been. Adebo's given up some catches, but it's nothing damaging until this game. And
right,
I think he, frankly, I think we saw some things against, speedier guys, quicker guys that can get his feet moving, get his hips moving, and I think that's something that could be an issue going forward. So I think you found something out about the matchups you want to keep him out of. Maybe, maybe if you're playing a guy with 4.2 speed, you don't put your 6.2, 6.3, whatever he is, 6'1" corner on him.
Yeah.
And I don't think Adebo has bad hips or anything. I just think that in against elite quickness,
everybody got bad hips against 4.2.
Yeah, and then you get a taller guy where it's just just physically physics. It's just more turn. And that's the one thing for him is that he does move and he's extremely fluid for his size, but in that matchup. So I think we found something out about him. Tony is an extremely quick guy. He kind of got him moving a little bit, and there was some exposure there. He missed a jam off the line against Galladay and got beat. So there were just some things in this game, and there's going to be ups and downs with him. He is a rookie, and I think it's been more ups than downs to this point. And now he kind of got showing up a little bit. We'll see if he gets a chance to stay in there. If they made a move to Roby, I wouldn't. I'd understand it. If they decided to stick with him and see how he bounces back, I'd understand that too. I think they have options there, and I don't expect Adebo to be shown as someone who isn't a good player. And it's just a rookie. There's ups and downs.
So let me stop you there, because as always, I'll be having my little talking points, and you be like 0.9 started the pod, never fails. So I'm ready today. So Adebo and Roby, right? And so Coach Payton had an interview with WWL. He was talking to Mike Hoss and Bobby Aber. I think it was last night, and he's like, yo, we like Adebo. We like the player. He's good. We have no problems with him. But we love Roby. We think he's a starter. All those guys are going to be playing. We're going to need them all, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, what did you see from Roby this game? Did he play well? And, maybe just from what he's done in his short time as a Saints. And do you think that there's some matchups that, one, how are they using Roby? Let's start there. Like, is he playing the slot? Is he playing outside? Like, how are they using him when he's in the game?
So he played 18 snaps in this game. There were a couple games where he was in, direct man coverage, but probably 15 snaps. It was just kind of sitting in a shallow zone, almost like a linebacker. They were using him as the dime back.
Okay. Because that was PJ before, right? PJ was
so they were using him in that role, and I thought he did a really good job. And honestly, I mean, he was one of the bright spots on the defense. But yeah, I mean, look, if they switch it up, it's completely understandable. You got two guys that are good, that deserve to play. If one has the hot hand, you ride it. If the hot hand goes away, you can go to the next guy. I mean, that's kind of the luxury that you've created for yourself with that depth. And I think that you have an obligation to ride Roby or Adebo as far as he's going to go. And if that carries on beyond this week, fine. If it stops here, where you say, okay, we saw some things that need to get worked on, figure these out, we're going to the other guy. Yeah, I mean, that's fine too. But I don't, with the way that Adebo was playing early in the season, I don't think you could take him off the field until you saw something, because in the perfect world, you want him to be better than the other guy. And you're happy with having a third round pick is, either way, like I've said before, third round pick is going to be depth. So you're happy if the rookie holds that spot, keeps Roby off. That's a great issue.
It is because you spoke about it. I think Coach Payton mentioned it. Gosh, it was like, I think it was last week. He was like, that was a position where we were like struggling as for depth, and now it's like a some of the position of strength. You have some guys. Carly may be back soon, or we haven't heard anything from him. And you got True Front not active in those guys. So it seems like you got options there, which you didn't before.
Yeah, I think Crowley's healthy. I think the reason he's not back is because there's just
guys are
why at this point. Yeah.
I got it. Okay. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do there, because is there a matchup? I mean, you alluded to it. Like, are there matchups where you say, I like Roby versus this type of receiver, and with Adebo, maybe guys that are the Deontay Harrises of the world, etc. He's not there yet, right? So he's got his lane. These are the guys we feel comfortable with him covering, and these are the type of players that we're going to put him on. And if that's not the case, then we have another guy who's more than capable of kind of filling that role.
Yeah, honestly, I think if Roby gets on the field, he probably doesn't leave.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, I think he's that good. I mean, he's that solid. I don't think you're going to see a lot of lows. But look, he'll have games like the one that Adebo had too. I mean, Marshawn just had a game like Adebo had, essentially.
So talk about the Marshawn game, because when you say you thought both cornerbacks struggled, did they struggle differently? Like, was Marshawn, his eyes, like from what I saw, Marshawn is like your eyes are in the wrong place. You're not on Barkley correctly. Your guys are running open in zones, where Adebo was just like, hey man, I haven't faced these type of guys in the NFL before, so I gotta learn, right? You got to get beat to not. You got to learn you got to get beat to learn what you don't want to get beat against. Right. So like are they winning differently? I mean, did they struggle differently, or just, kind of break that down a little bit?
Yeah, they struggled differently. I mean, Marshawn's big misses were tendencies that he exposed of himself during the game, and those are broken down.
You got a good one too, bro. I'm not gonna give it away, but that was a hell of a find that you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was, and it was interesting that they found something that he was doing and use it to kind of exploit him later in the game, and that's just good coaching. I mean, they got him. Yeah, they got him on good coaching.
Man, that was when you showed it to me, I was like, ugh. Like they knew they had one when they saw that. They was like, oh, we coming back to that.
Yeah, and that's how they go. I mean, that's the stuff Sean does to teams.
Yep.
So I mean, yeah, it was different. I don't think Marshawn's early beats were bad. It was just they caught him doing some stuff and ran it at him later in the game and got him on it. Adebo, like I said, it was some just couple technique things, couple just matchup things. The deep ball that he gave up to Ross, cover 4, he's competitive on the post. It's just he just wasn't quite competitive enough against a 4-2 guy. And you got look, cover 4, you got to defend the post at all costs. That's your first primary responsibility in that position. And it just kind of happened.
Amber alert, sorry.
But you look at it, it's not a terrible beat. Like, he was competitive on the snap. He just wasn't able to win it.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that just like I said, as a rookie, you have to. Man, I want to say Corey White dealt with something similar, and I forget. That's a long time ago. But like, you just got to learn these things. Like that time, he got beat, and he thought that Marcus came and took the ball loose, and he just you start celebrating, but the play is not over till you hear that whistle, right? And and Marcus too, right? I mean, both of those guys, I thought both of those guys, they didn't show awareness in that particular position where, hey, that was a fumble. That's a game-changing play, right? The football was right there, right? And it was 2 against 1, and that guy got it, and we did, the Saints didn't even go for it. So I think it's just learning experiences. He's a young player. He's played 4 games, right? So I think we need to, it's good to remind people that like rookies are going to struggle, right? I've seen people giving up on Peyton Turner, which he led the team in pressures, but it wasn't like no one else was getting a lot of them, I think. But yeah, I just think we got to give these guys time to make sure we cover them a certain way, at least us here. That's how, just to make sure those talking points don't like run crazy, because they do.
So shout out to Luke Cooney signing up for the elite plan on NewOrleans.Football.
Luke,
links right there somewhere on the screen. I don't know where I'm pointing, but appreciate you, man.
I'm your father.
Everybody else, if you want to sign up. 2 additional podcasts per week, film studies, exclusive analysis, stuff you aren't going to get other places.
Yeah, everybody should go and try to be like Luke. So shout out to Luke. Thanks for the support, man. We appreciate it. So while we're on the defensive side of the ball, and I'm just gonna put my head down while we talk about Pete Werner. So Nick, what did you see from Pete? get your takes off. I'm gonna give you this, and then we're gonna move on. You got 15 seconds. Go.
I don't got no takes to get up, man. I thought he was out really, legitimately outstanding in this game. A lot of really good plays, right place, right time. Just did the right thing, saw the field well. You watch him play the run, he doesn't give up gaps. He's basically funneling guys to the out of bounds because he's just not giving anything up.
Yeah, man.
The screen he blew up getting through 2 blocks was extremely.
That was my favorite play of the game.
Extremely high level play.
That was my favorite play of the game from him. I was like, yeah, that was crazy.
I even thought the Saquon play was good. He stuck with the tackle. It took multiple attempts, but he still dropped him for a loss of 4. Didn't let him get anywhere. I mean, he just played well, man.
If you can get Saquon to change directions while not going forward, it doesn't matter how many tackles you miss. Just don't let him run down the field, and that's exactly what he did.
He got smoked on one play. There was a play where he fumbled? Yeah, he caught the ball and just like planted and turned so quick. Saquon, what Saquon did in that, his ability to plant and turn,
he's kind of crazy.
It was unbelievable. I've never seen another person move like that. He's
kind of crazy.
I watched this play, I swear to God, man, probably like 27 times in a row. It was just the way he planted and went was just unbelievable. I've just never seen.
He's a little different. I'll say this, right? And listen, like every once in a while I go to the gym. Like this dude's like his legs, man. Like that's like what you want. Like I'm for real. I want to see the guy's drug test. Like his legs are like, that's not. It's like a little weird, man. It's like, how did you do that? I need to know because I ain't got it. So I'm just saying.
I'm not even gonna respond.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm just gonna let you have your.
I'm just putting myself out. I'm just saying, man. Like his lower body explosion is unreal, and it's just the way he's built. Like as a runner, that's the stuff that he's meant for, man.
No, it is. He's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, he's got that Barry Sanders build too. If you look at like how their body types are, they're lower heavy, man. He's crazy with it, dude. I was just I know exactly the play you're talking about, and I was just like, see, they got them gym legs, bro. Hey, man, listen, I'm comfortable. I feel comfortable enough to give that man his props. So, but yeah, look, man, Pete, you've been good, bro.
He was real good, man.
You've been good, Pete. I'm gonna start calling you Pete. Nick want to act like all humble. Nick is not humble, y'all. I'm just letting you know. But now he want to be humble. You should have seen the Pete text messages that I were getting. It was like, you do this again, you off the pod, and hashtag Ian, whatever. Hashtag triplet, hashtag everything other than like security. But it's all good, man. But yeah, no, just in all seriousness, yeah, I don't know what else like he's giving you. Like he's coming in day one, and he's looked like he's been in the defense forever. It's crazy. Like he's just in the right place. And
who would have thought?
See, there you go. I'm baiting you. Come on, bro.
Hey, I'm just saying it's exactly what he was in college. Exactly what he was in college. That's exactly what it was. It wasn't necessarily plays that blew you away on the screen, but you just kept watching him, and it was this. He's just in the right places at the right time. He sees the field well. He moves well enough. He's not bursting off the screen like Quan Alexander, but he's, you watch him for a full game, and then by the end of the game, he's just always in the right place, and all of a sudden he's played 40 stops and accumulated 10 tackles, and that's just kind of how he is. That's just what he did in college.
So would you say that you were right about him?
No, I mean, it's too early for that. I mean, shoot.
Have you been right thus far about him?
Well, I mean, I wrote a story about Adebo before this game, and you saw what happened. So, I mean, it's just
we talking about Pete though.
Yeah, I mean, to this point, yeah, but there's a long way to go. I mean, 2 performances isn't proven anything. But I think he's going to be a solid professional player. And I think at some point he'll probably be their Mike linebacker, and I think that's probably his future position.
So what happens when the CEO of the Juice Boys returns?
It's a good question. I mean, he'll probably play. I think you find ways to get Werner on the field. I mean, Werner might be your early down LB, and Quan's your nickel, more nickel, or nickel specific. So yeah, I mean, I think that they'll probably have Quan on the field, but
they found a way to play with Bond and Alexander, so I don't see why they wouldn't be able to do it.
Right.
Even though Bond was more of a base guy, but still, I think if you want him on the field, you can get him on there.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, Werner played well enough against the run that I think that you could have him on the field and running downs. It was weird because they kind of tried to protect him from that against the Patriots and kept them more in, passing situations, not as many run. He used more run situations in this one, and I think he answered the bell big time.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see like what they do and how they rotate those guys when Quan Alexander returns. But good problem to have. Kind of the same situation that you have at cornerback. You got one guy who's a mainstay, who's one of the best at his position. And you got a couple of guys there where if you feel like you need to play a game with one or the other, you feel relatively good about it. So, so that's good. What's going on with the pass rush?
Hey, shout out to Brendan Moreau signing up for the site. We appreciate you, man.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Thanks for signing up, Mr. Monroe. Is it Monroe or Monrou? Got to figure out. We gotta see if he's a Louisiana guy.
Oh, Moreau. I read it wrong. Moreau.
Oh, Moreau. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Moreau.
Just spelled the right way.
Yeah.
Shout out, man. Thanks for
you guys are the lifeblood of what we do. So people sign up, supports us, and we can keep doing what we're doing.
We gonna shout you out straight up every time. That's just how we roll. We appreciate the support. It's,
because people that sign up, that's what determines if we exist or not. I mean, honestly, so it is. I mean, straight up. So
yeah, I mean, I like Nick, but I ain't just gonna be jumping on podcasts with him randomly just because
You did for like 2 years, man.
I know. What the hell was wrong with me, man? I took so much abuse. Like, just
you didn't take no abuse, man.
Oh man, come on, man, come on. You guys, the record is out there. You left me with Ian. That's abuse right there.
That was a choice. You could have left, man. That was a choice.
No, don't make me rehash that. Don't make me rehash that. No, that I will not let you get away with. Hell no, man. Why does Ian catch so many strays around here? And I feel like they all start from me, though. That's the crazy part. So, like, Ian, man, we love you, man. Shout out to my guy, bro. That's my boy. I don't follow him though. All right, so yeah, pass rush. What's going on there? What I felt like, part of a lot of the problems on defense. If I was to chalk it down to two things, I would say one, bad eyes in zone coverage. Listen, if a rookie gets beat 1-on-1 on a deep play against a 4-2 guy, I'm not giving him a pass for it, but I can understand it. I can live with it, because that's the fastest guy that's ever been in the combine. Like he runs by people, right? That's the only thing he's good at. And, he called him slipping. But, the missed assignments and the things like that, the switch between him and CD Deuce on the, down there at the red zone, those things right there, those are the type of plays that you can't allow. And I would say that was one of the issues with defense. But if I look on the other side, I would say, hey, where's the pass rush? The pass rush hasn't been really good for the past 3 weeks. If we're being real, Carolina was okay. It was schemed. Last week, not so much. This week, same situation. I think Passanio only had 19 pass rush snaps. I mean, what's going on down there? Well, is it just guys are not winning their one-on-one matchups? Are they dealing with extra blockers? I think, they did do a lot of like heavy protection. The Giants did, but yeah, what's going on with the pass rush?
Yeah, they did max protect. Daniel Jones got the ball out pretty quick on other snaps. It just wasn't consistent enough overall. The pass rush, they didn't affect enough plays.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't going to want to hear this, but I thought Cam had 3 really good pressures that led to 3 incompletions.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get there and finish some of those plays, but pressures that cause incompletions or positive plays that they affect the game.
He did. Were those the only 3 pressures, or were they like more? But those 3 were like the ones that
I think you have 4, and then 3 of them caused incompletions. Yeah. It wasn't enough from anybody else. So I mean, there's really nothing notable to say about any other player on the defensive line. Turner had a couple pressures.
I thought I saw Turner have 1 pressure that was affecting the play, but I only remember 1.
I mean, there just wasn't much from anybody else, and that's a problem. It's a problem. It's something that, it's been a trend for a couple weeks now, and it's not a trend that you want to see continue. So that's got to change. And it's impressive that the defense as a whole has played
as well as it has without those.
Really has without that stuff. So hopefully they get Davenport back soon. They need Anyamata back. Obviously that's going to be hugely impactful. So they're going to get better on that side of the ball. I don't think the stuff that we saw on defense this game, I don't think that you're freaking out about any of it. It's just kind of some stuff happened, is a little uncharacteristic. They're going to clamp back down and be a good team again.
They got 3 or 4 years of good defense. Like one game doesn't erase all of that.
Right.
I'm just
nothing to worry about yet. I don't. But I don't even think there is a yet there. I just think it's.
Yeah, I mean, yet meaning. Yeah, gotcha. Yet meaning, if it continues, then it will be a concern. But right now, one off. We're not losing sleep. We're not losing sleep off of one off.
That's it.
Yeah, it will be. It's it just Anyamata has. So they're 2-2. So Anyamata has 2 more games. So he's going to miss the Washington game and the Seattle game, and then he'll be back. So they need him. They need that dude back, man. I think he's the best, probably the best defensive lineman on the team, and so getting him back is like a huge thing. And Davenport is probably
the best pass rusher.
Yeah, I think he's the best pass rusher, maybe the best run stopper and pass rusher.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, Cam, you still going Cam?
Yeah, still going Cam.
Yeah. But it's not a big gap between them.
Cam still might be the most impactful pass rusher. It just it depends what version of Davenport shows up consistently. But Davenport has potential to be the best pass rusher.
Yeah.
The ability.
Yeah,
there should be an expectation at this point now. You got to hold him to a standard.
He's not healthy, man. So it's like you can be the best, whatever, but if you're not on the field, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't help. Like
I'm just not giving him a pass anymore. I'm not expecting him to meet anything, but he should be expected to be what he is. He was drafted where he was drafted to have the come up when there was the come down from the other guy.
There you go.
Have a transition, and it's done. There's no more ifs, ands, maybe. This is what you need to be. This is what the team needs you to be. This is what you were brought in here to be. The investment in you was made for you to be this. Go be it. And sink or swim. That's it.
That's really the only way to think about it. Really the only way to think about it. So, I definitely think, this one, man, I just went from like standard definition to high definition.
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw that? Yeah, I feel good, man. I feel a little confident.
You went from 8-bit Mario to Nintendo Switch Mario.
Yeah, you went from like a Nintendo Switch to a PlayStation 5 or something just now. I know you're a Nintendo guy. I had to.
You can have that slider here, man.
Yeah, what you got? Yeah, but okay. So, long story short, I think we got to look at the defensive side of the ball and say, guys laid an egg here, but we know who they are. I'm pretty sure they'll come back next week, and I expect them to play well, and I expect them to correct some of those things. I don't think Marshawn is going to come. And Marshawn is a smart player, so I don't expect him to continue to make those same mistakes. And so we'll see. We'll see. I will be looking. Well, I hate to put you on the spot like this, but I get to do that. Nobody else does. But what are you expecting from? And I know we'll get into Traquan and Mike in the comment from CJ, but are you expecting like any guys? I know Eric McCoy didn't go on IR, but he hasn't been doing any practicing. I know Davenport, he didn't go on IR. Did he go on IR? Did Davenport go on IR? Man, I totally forgot. Yeah, he did. Okay, but that was after the first game, so he should be eligible to come back now. Crawley, you said, he maybe just be inactive, but just high level, are we expecting any guys to start returning this week, or
we'll find out tomorrow? I mean, not necessarily right away.
Okay,
we'll see. I mean, I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anything, but there's surprises. Surprises come. So we'll see.
Okay. All right. Well,
I don't think Traquan. Yeah, I tweeted the video. He said 2 weeks.
Right. Well, Traquan like he just did an episode of Survivor, man. I was like, my bro was looking. He was looking like I was looking last week after you dissed me after the pod. Yeah. But the abuse that I was talking about. Hey guys, listen, Nick.
You got up and shaved your head right after that pod, huh?
Bro, y'all, Nick killed me after the pod. He was like, bro, why you look like that? I was like, what? You know my life, bro. I'm telling you, I deal with this abuse for the people, man, for the listeners, for the subscribers, for the supporters, for the people that DM me, tweet me. I love all of y'all, and I deal with reach for my brother for y'all. He was like, "Bro, why you look like that?" I'm like, "What?"
Oh, man.
You know you said it, so you just
This is what it is, man.
it is what it is. You didn't even take it back.
Sometimes you got to hear it, you know. Sometimes you need people in your life to tell you. You know what I mean?
I mean, no sympathy. You know a brother struggling right now. You just left hook. Get up.
What
right
were we
hook.
talking about? Oh, Traquan. Yeah, I think Traquan will
Mike.
be 2 weeks. I mean, they could start practicing it and not necessarily come back right away. But
yeah, which would be like good, because a lot of times you see a guy practice 1 week before he really comes back, right?
Yeah.
So, and then Mike is eligible
for the
Seattle game. So, what did you make of CJ's comments? Like, is it really like, hey man, or I don't know, man. Like, what do you make of it? We put it out there and people talking about it. So here you
make
go.
a what
Of CJ's comments, Coach CJ Johnson,
about them being ready? I think
they look ready to me. Yeah,
I think he should be. I mean, Mike was, like I said, I saw Mike running, working the ladder, moving well, cutting before he got Corona. So he looked like he was on the right track then. And that 6 weeks, I think it was
ended a long time ago, bro. I was looking at the calendar, like, because he had the surgery like late June, and it was like 8 to 12 week injury. So like July is 4 weeks, August is 4 weeks, September, that's 12 weeks. 12 weeks was 5 days ago.
I think PUP was kind of more precautionary, just to even take the inkling of trying to rush back out of the equation,
and then the bye week,
go away, get ready,
Mm-hmm.
come back, don't get hurt again, be good to go when you get here, no concerns. I think that's what it was about. So if he ain't ready by the Seattle game, I'll be a little bit surprised.
I mean, that'll be like
a long time.
15 weeks. Yeah. And it was like 8 to 12 was the initial prognosis. So yeah, it's definitely.
And then he tweeted at someone saying he'd be back soon. I mean, so Mike's kind of got like the little album release going right now. He's got CJ leaking stuff. He's he's tweeting out some cryptic things. He's getting people ready to start looking at his Spotify page or whatever. So
he ain't Corday. Ain't nobody ready for you like that, Mike.
But just kind of, it does kind of feel like there's like a little bit of a rollout taking place right now.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
So I think Mike's hype. I think he's ready to go. I'm expecting him to be. That that's just reading tea leaves. Nothing I heard. I'm not like speculating, but reporting. No, I mean, like, I'm just straight up just looking at what's happening, and it just kind of feels like he should be ready for that game.
No, I see you like kind of like picking up on the rollout. You're getting in your Rory bag. I ain't mad at it. A little red, I ain't mad at it, man. I ain't mad at it. So yeah, they need those guys back. And let's get to the offense. Just talking about those guys. First and foremost, like, what did you weekly wide receiver check, right? Are guys not getting open? Are guys getting
No, they got open this game. I mean, they were playing zone the whole game. So I thought there was an opportunity to even dial it up more. And I think that's why there was some frustration, just kind of watching the game in the fourth quarter, because this is a team that hasn't gotten a lot of guys open against man coverage, and they're playing a softer zone, a lot of off coverage. There was ways to get open quick underneath. And I just didn't think they did a lot of that to take advantage of some of the stuff they were seeing. So, I thought they could have dialed it up more and went after it, a lot more aggressively than they did. And, they just, they took their shots. And when they were aggressive, I think you saw the game change, when they started dialing up, the game change. Yeah. It felt like they took control, they got rolling, and then, they brought it back in and packed it in a little bit
I think I saw somewhere like Jameis like completed like, what was it, like 11 to 12 straight?
12 in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like 14 plays later, like no passes in between then. Like, yeah. So, I mean, I know, and listen, this is Kevin talking. I know Coach Payton said, I didn't take my foot off the gas. We were playing the score, but like, your quarterback throws 11 straight completions or 12, and then it's like the passing just stops. I'm sorry.
Let's unpack that though. Okay, so
let's unpack that a little bit, and that's what I want to. I'm glad you. So go, like, give me your take on it and prove me wrong. Right? That's fun. That's the fun part about this.
They ran the win against the Patriots. I mean, just look back a week ago. They took the same approach. They ran the win in that game. They had a drive where they ran to seal the game, and I just think he thought he could do it again. And that's kind of the way they're playing. And I think that's the way he thinks he can win. I think he thinks he can win that way going into the bye. It's just kind of a survive and advance type of deal. I don't think it's concentrated on the quarterback. I think it's concentrated on the offense as a whole, the passing offense, the weapons you have.
Okay.
I think it's everything. And when you don't have a wide receiver that can get open quickly off the line of scrimmage, and you have those 4-yard, 5-yard patterns, quick slants, quick outs, little crossing routes. When you don't have guys that can get open that quick, you aren't going to have the same opportunities to pass the ball. Like, let's look at what they're doing right now, right? So they're doing what they're doing. Just look at that last game. You dropped Mike Thomas in, and now you have 6 more little quick passes. You're at what, 29? And where's the talking point then? You're around that 30 pass number.
Yeah. That's true.
And I just think that people can't look at the volume and say, well, they don't trust the quarterback. And
that is not what I'm like, I think I had that take, and I definitely
I backed off it, because when you go through it, and you look at how they're attacking the field and the way that they're calling plays and what they're having Jameis do, that isn't the picture you're seeing isn't indicative of a man that says, I don't trust this quarterback, because you aren't allowing him to attack all levels of the field. I think the issue with the offense, when you look at the passing offense, is that there aren't the little pop passes. There isn't the quick game. And I think that's where you see some stuff not happening. But overall volume, I think that there's you look at it and you say, well, they don't feel great about their offense. And I think that's true. And I think there's a little bit of everything in there. And, I don't say this to say that like Jameis is on the loose. And no, I think they're pulling back on him a little bit from what he did in Tampa. And I think you have to. I think there's a necessary, point of control where you kind of got to hold on a little bit. But it isn't like, when people say, what are they going to do to open the offense? Open it how? Like, how many more? Like they're throwing all over the field. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I agree with pretty much like everything you said.
One more point.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
If Troutman doesn't hold, is anybody saying this?
I think if Troutman doesn't hold, then I don't think we have the opportunity to say this, because they're in such a big lead that running makes sense at that point. Now you're winning by, instead of 11, you're winning by 18, and now you have to run or you're being silly. Right. So I think that's how that changes that calculus.
Yeah. But like, nobody looks at the way Jameis is using that game and says, hey, the coach doesn't trust him.
Yep. And I agree with you. And so like I said, I was one of the people that said, I was like, man, I don't think he trusts Jameis. And I'm walking back that take a little bit. I think I said it on the
No, I said the same thing.
I said it on the members only pod. I was more of but I'm the driver. I was like driving the car, using the passenger seat. You was like,
no, but I felt that way watching the game too for a little bit, and then you kind of you reevaluate it and you look at it and you say, you know what, this was a little bit of an erroneous point of view. And
you was in the wrong place, wrong time though.
I'm not someone that ever gets married to a take though. I'll back off a take quickly. I think I think someone that isn't willing to change their opinion in the face of new evidence is lacking in intelligence. Yeah,
they're not married.
Definitely not
you will not last, bro.
you don't even need new evidence. You just need someone to present evidence. It doesn't even have to be factual evidence. It could be somebody else's evidence, and you just got to change your take. But no. But I mean, honestly, for real though, like when you think something and you look at it and you have a time to slow it down and kind of take a different look at it.
That's what you do. That's how it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
You get more information.
The members only after post game podcast is just the takes, man. That's
it's
the
just
initial
hot
impressions.
Takes, bro. And if you guys like are for that type of stuff, you got to get on there, man. Those members only pods were fun. I'm just saying, and we drop 2 of them extra a week. I'm just saying, bro, 200% more pods than we do, for the free folks. So, but here's what I'm trying to say. I said that I don't think he trusts Jameis. And like I said, I'm walking that back. I think he doesn't, and I think you and I kind of came to the same conclusion, probably because you got film and you be showing me stuff, and I'd be like, dang, that makes sense. Not saying you're right, but I'm not saying you were wrong either, right? And so, I thought that the offense. I don't think maybe he trusts the offense as much, where it is not Jameis, right? And so, I still think now. And you said they won the pass game like that the previous week, 100% valid. Right, but I do think Sean Payton, he's not a static coach, right? Sean Payton wins how Sean Payton wins, right? I've seen Sean Payton win with defense, run game, special teams, offense, throwing the ball, short passes, deep passes, intermediate. He's not a one size fit all coach, right? He can pretty much do it all. And so I think if you got a zone defense on the heels and you just completed 11 straight passes, I think you can complete passes. You're completing passes, right?
Yep.
You got 11 straight. There's no,
you got to change it.
You got to, yeah. And so whatever you thought about the run, that is expired. Once the game started and you completed those 12 straight passes, all right, it's different calculus now. We're in a different universe, different physics. So we got to react. And so I thought that he didn't react correctly where, he should have, hey, man, I got James. And now you got a quarterback who hasn't really got going all year. You can give him some confidence, get the offense going, complete some more passes, run this score up. I just thought it was a missed opportunity there.
Yeah, big time. And I think the approach warrants criticism. Absolutely. I'm saying that it looks like there is some trust in Jameis. It doesn't mean that the approach was right. Every play call was right. That the criticism isn't warranted. Just saying, I understand what he's trying to do. I see what he's trying to do. It doesn't mean it's always the right thing.
Yep.
I also think that he trusts his running game and his defense more than he trusts the passing game. And that doesn't mean that he doesn't trust the quarterback. It just means that he feels better about these other aspects of the team right now. And I think when your two top wide receivers aren't part of the offense, your third round pick tight end isn't playing as you hoped. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that. And it's not all just about the quarterback. I mean,
that's true.
It just
that's
isn't.
true. That's true. Yep.
But,
I'll piggyback off your point. I think what Sean Payton, what he did, I thought it made sense. I understand the logic behind his thinking. And that's just what I want to make clear, right? You can disagree with someone, but you can understand why they did what they did. And I think that's where I stand. I'm like, hey, look, I understand you got a defense that you trust, even though if they're not having the best game. This worked for you last week. So it's not like you're pulling this out of thin air, right? This is a winning formula.
Worked week 1 too.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So we know that I understand the decision. I just thought in that moment, I thought that, I thought he could. And to Jameis, listen, I don't think he's holding Jameis back. Like, I don't think he's not. Well, let me say this. I think he trusts Jameis. I don't think he has a lack of trust with Jameis, but I do think he's like just keeping some reins on him on some level. No,
he definitely is. Yeah, no, he isn't let go and hey, go do your thing.
Go beat Tampa. Right.
And he should have, like you said, he should have in this game. The opportunity to drive down the field one more time and just kind of put it out of reach was there. On the other hand, it's hard in the moment to criticize somebody running when they're up 11
points
with 8 minutes left.
And the running game has been good.
And the running game has been good. And you have run every week. In the moment, it's hard to look at it and say, this was wrong.
Yeah.
And, I didn't feel it in that moment. It's like, okay, here they go again. They're doing what they do. And it's worked. So, yeah. But then it doesn't work. And you're like, well, why did they do that? In hindsight, I mean,
when I saw that run, taste some stuff, I was like,
but look, I can't be mad at the third down Taysom play because they converted other times, and I don't even know if they have the lead that they have if they aren't doing third down Taysom plays. And,
I agree with that.
They got the pass, they got a touchdown off it. Yeah. So those plays are working. So again, that's another thing where when it's working, it's good, and then when it doesn't, you're like,
I can't criticize that play though.
Yeah,
I think I even tweeted during the game. I was like, man, that play been working, man. It just didn't work this time. Like, if a third down play works 3 out of 4 times, then that's the third down play to run because 75% in third down is Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I can't criticize the play at all. I can't criticize the play.
I thought they should have passed on second down.
I
thought
agree.
They should have passed on second down.
Or first. Or first. One of the two.
But again, you're when they're up 11 and you're running the ball, it's just it's hard to go through there and say outside of the Taysom D pass when you kind of go through and watch the game again. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to look at them and be like, this shouldn't have happened. It's just you can see the logic behind it. There's nothing in there that's like completely outrageous. And I'm sorry. I mean, I know people don't want to hear that, but there's nothing outside of the Taysom deep pass that I felt like wow, man,
didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
It didn't make
the
any
field
sense.
goals, obviously those are things early in the game.
He out of here though.
Yeah,
Sean got
yeah.
him. When he said we got to make a field goal at some point, I was like, I hope that man know he's not welcome back.
He was done. He was done.
Yeah, once he like talk about you like that, bro. Actually, Warford, like you're not gonna have a lot of time left.
It was just a matter of when. Yeah,
it was a matter of when. Yeah. So, like I said, I can disagree with it, but I can also say, and listen, he's making these decisions based on tendency and all this other stuff. Look, man, I know where to stop, right? I know where to stop, and so yeah, that's definitely, that's the fun talking about. But Jameis, I thought that this was his best game as a Saint. Clear. I thought he looked really good.
We talked about this after the game. I still think it's week 1.
You think it's week 1, yeah. And I get that. Week 1, everything was going, to me, it's just my take. Week 1, everything was going right. Like they were going to win week 1. Like Jameis would have to try to give that game away, right? Running game, the defense was playing out of their mind. Aaron Rodgers was throwing picks that he don't usually throw. Like everything around him was set up for him to win. This game, I just thought, was a little adversity. They were losing for a little bit. It was a tight game, and I thought this was his best game. Personally, that's just me, right? And it's fine if you feel different, but I just thought, like, given the circumstances, that pass, I count that pass that he threw to Steals. Like, he put that, his deep balls are like, he's dropping them like perfectly. Just open your hands, bro. It's like a Christmas present, gift unwrapped and everything for you. So I just think that, given the circumstances, everything he was dealing with, the offense wasn't really ticking. I thought this was his best showing. If he continues off this, and look, and I think, and Jameis has been relative. He's been good this year. I don't think he's not been great, right? He's made mistakes, but I don't think he's been like, you can't look at him and say, okay, he's the reason why the offense isn't doing well. Now he's not carrying the offense, but very few quarterbacks do. But I just thought that this game showed some things that he can build off of, and this offense can build off of. Maybe not every defense is going to play like this, but I just thought there were some positives to take from this game and something to maybe carry forward going, as you move forward in the season.
I still think it was week 1. Just better quality, quality opponent, better DBs.
All right, but talk about this game. Like, what did you see from him this game?
I thought he was really good. He executed everything well after a slow start. I thought the slow start was bad. I thought his first quarter of the game was pretty bad. He was kind of slow to get through some decisions, got himself into a little bit of trouble. But once he got going, it looked really good. He had some throws. That throw to Ty Montgomery was unbelievable. The way Ty Montgomery came back on his second catch. I thought that was a really good play from Montgomery, and I think that's some of the savvy that you don't see from these wide receivers. There's not that feel for the game from everybody. So it was good to see that displayed.
Juwan Johnson, that pass was.
Oh, that was a nice pass. It was a nice route too. Nice little shaker route.
Yeah, it was. He ran that one through last week. He kind of pulled that one back, and this one it's not the exact same route. I would need to go back and check, but just week to week, you can see kind of things getting a little bit better.
And his hops are crazy. Juwan's hops are crazy. But
Jump almost higher than me, man. Oh my god. Well, I can. Don't make me post a video, man.
I thought they played really well, and I thought he executed his job extremely well. Trying to think. So he's had like 2.5 good games, 1.5 bad games. So we've seen more good than bad at this point, I would say. Yeah. There's still a lot to prove, a lot he's got to do.
How do you look at him? Like when you grade Jameis, do you look at like, man, this guy has bad wide receivers? He has no wide receivers.
It's all part of it.
Deontay Harris is the only thing that looks like a wide receiver on this team right now. Like, is he a victim of the situation? Like Drew would be able to, prime Drew would get through this because he's prime Drew, right? But like I'm just trying to get a feel for like, man, how much do I put on Jameis and how much is like, is he just, you just don't have guys to throw to?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of that, and he is kind of getting through it. A little bit, there's he played good this week, so he got through it this week with the guys that he has available. Shout out to Jeremy Wilson for upgrading his account to the annual. Appreciate you buying him for the year.
There you go, man. There you go. That's
So
good as paying your rent for a year, bro. Right next to it.
but Jameis is kind of getting through it a little bit. He's gotten through two and a half out of 4 games, with the guys that he has. But yeah, I mean, I think the wide receivers, some of the stuff Jameis has done hasn't all been good. That Carolina game is hard to even know how to look at it and process. I mean, it was just such a weird game.
Yeah, big yuck.
So, I mean, I think he's done more good than bad. But for me, when I look at it, it's still like he's an unknown. I don't know what to think of it. I don't know what to make of anything, and it's tough. I mean, it's tough to kind of get through. When did Drew have great wide receivers?
Yeah, let's just tackle that. That's a good little last talking point. I have a take on that. I can give my little 5-second take, but I think like what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, there was the year he had Snead, Brandon Cooks, and Mike Thomas. That was a really good group of players. Colston, I think Colston was great. I think it's fair to call him great. I think he would have been probably who he is in a lot of offenses. His ability to make contested catches, the way he contorted his body early in his career to make, some catches. He was one. I don't know if you'd put anybody else in that conversation, honestly. And Snead isn't a great wide receiver either. So he had 2.5. Cooks, I think Cooks for a period was a legitimately high end. A couple things, a couple routes, a couple routes on the tree. I think you would say he was great at.
Just don't let him do no yak though.
Yak.
No yak. Boy, start running in circles.
Routes 5 and under probably weren't elite, but 6 and up on the route tree, the out corner post go. I think he was probably elite at those.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Jimmy Graham, I think you throw him in there as a great weapon. I think Drew had great backs, multiple times. So
yes,
so I mean, there were times where he had, I think he had some great weapons throughout his career, but maybe not necessarily. Alvin, a great weapon. He had great wide receivers. No, he had one, and potentially 2 with Colston.
Yeah. My take on that is, I think when I look at the wide receivers Drew had, he had guys that knew what to do in this system and that were where they're supposed to be. And with a quarterback like Drew, I think for him that's great, right? Like, when Drew was in his prime, 2011, say that's his best year probably as a Saint. Those guys are where they needed to be, right? Like a guy you didn't have, like say last week where Juwan Johnson didn't run that route, run that crossing route all the way through, right?
Yeah.
He kind of pulled up at the end. That wasn't happening. So he had rapport with these guys. He was on the same page with these guys. And so when you got a quarterback that can put the ball, and at that point, Drew could put the ball anywhere, right? I mean, not like Josh Allen can, but the deep ball was very much part of the offense, and he still had plenty arm. I think for him, that's great, right? For this offense, those guys were great, right? And it's not one guy, but it was the collection of wide receivers that you have. He had a great group of guys. He had, and I'm going Jimmy Graham that year where he had those guys, Sproles was out there, Colston, etc. Yeah, for him, that's a great group of guys because he knows what they're going to do. He knows the offense. They know the offense, and they're right where they're going to be. So I just think, the lens from which we look at it, it's, I just need a little bit different. But yeah, VP Cheese Grass, I think that's how I say it. That was a good question. It was a nice little talking point. Thanks for putting that in chat. But I always try to keep my eye on chat to see what's good topics in there. So
yeah, let's hit this next one from Johnny. He says, how much do you think Sean is suppressing Jameis in order to sign him for the low? Has to be part of it, or else he has an unjust love for Taysom. I've seen this talking point a few times, and it's one of the things that's kind of come up a little bit. I don't think that's something that's happening. They're going to try to win games. I don't think they're holding him down or anything like that. I think that you will be very happy to have him succeed and sign him for a high amount of money. And even, I just don't think that would even work like that. It 23 passes a game. If he was, legitimately, superstar caliber quarterback, somebody else is going to see that and still sign him for that amount of money. So I just don't think that's something that's happening right now. I think that he's playing well more than he isn't, but I don't think that, he's playing like Mahomes or Justin, Herbert, or I almost said Herbert or anything else. Like, he's not Aaron Rodgers. He kind of is who he is at this point. He's has potential to be better when there's more structure around him. I just don't think that's something that would work like that.
Yeah. I think that would be like saying that Sean is like kind of trying to lose games, I guess. Because if you're trying to suppress a quarterback to make him look worse and try to sign him for cheap, then you're trying to lose.
Yeah, and if they wanted to do that, they would have just signed him for a multi-year and he wouldn't have accepted it, obviously. I mean, he isn't. Yeah. Jameis wouldn't have accepted a 3-year deal on the low or anything like that.
Or even if you think he's going to be really good, if you sign him for 5 years for 20, right? Yeah. That's a quarterback stealing contract. Like,
right.
He would have, you're right. You could have just signed him for 5 for 20, or you can extend him right now.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Hey, Jameis, we like you. We like you and we want you. So it's I don't really think that.
Yeah, I don't think that it's something that's come up a lot though.
I don't think that's a fair question I don't think that's a fair thing to say about Sean Payton. I think everything that I've ever seen him do is centered around winning. I've seen people say like, oh, he's trying to prove that he's smarter than everybody else and he's costing a team. He'd rather prove that he's smart to get in the Hall of Fame than win. And I'm like winning is what gets you in the Hall of Fame. Right. I don't understand where this stuff coming from. So I just have to step away because, people have the right to have their opinion. And I don't want to be the one that's like to say, but I don't know. It's been.
This is the maddest in most reactionary I've ever seen the fan base after a loss.
Oh, bro. I was like, I'm done, y'all. I'm out. And then y'all saw you tweet, even when y'all was like, oh, Nick out.
Oh man. I kind of got to like a point where it's just like, I gotta stop reading some of this stuff. Cause I try to read everything that everybody sends to me. I've been using the mute button a little more liberally lately, but
I might need to try that. I don't like to block people, man, but like sometimes I'll be seeing this stuff. I'll be like,
yeah, I do like a 7-day mute, and it's just like I'm not gonna argue with this person, and I just gotta get it out of here for a little bit. I don't keep anybody in jail permanently, but it's just kind of like I'm not gonna do this. And the thing is like there's so many takes about Taysom, there's so many takes about Jameis, and everybody. It's just there's been a lot of radicalization.
It's been some crazy stuff said, man.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like I just get to a point where I can't deal with it, and it's just
I get it.
I'm not gonna do it.
You'll lose your dang mind, man. You'll lose your dang mind. Yep.
I'm not gonna be forced into like a hard take on anybody. I'm gathering information.
I've had people try to force me to like have an opinion. I'm like, you're dealing with someone that's a little stubborn at times. It's not going to work. My wife would have figured that out a long time ago. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I've just stepped away from this week. I was like, I'll still watch what I watch, but just like Facebook went down. I was like, yes, the world got better for a day.
Here's the thing. Like with Jameis, if you were to have a permanent take after week 1, you were wrong by week 2. If you were to have a permanent take after week 2, you're wrong by week 4. I mean, so it's just, it's just not there yet. It's so up and down, and they haven't settled into anything. And I'm not gonna.
We don't have permanent takes. That's what we just spoke about earlier. Yeah, it's like you get more information, and the math problem is different when you got more like a different.
Basically,
equation.
Not having Mike Thomas is like forcing someone to take like a calculus test without a calculator. Like you need the TI-83, man. Like you got to have it. Like I'm not expecting someone to do all this stuff in their head. Like you need Mike, and Mike is that weapon.
My hand is up. I got it. I took calculus. I ain't had no calculator.
I took Intro to Algebra 1.
I took Cal 1, Cal 2, Cal 3, differential equations, numerical methods, statistics 1 and 2, discrete math.
Yeah, I couldn't pass Intro to Algebra 1, man. It took me 3 tries to get through that.
That's right.
Summer school. I got it though, and then I passed 2. So I eventually got the Algebra 2. But
let me learn these route trees.
Oh man.
Oh bro. Hey, look, man. Look, I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you weren't good at math because you wouldn't be here.
I figured it out eventually. It's just, man, that's so boring. I had trouble sitting in school, man.
Well, I'll tell you this. Pilot is like way off topic, but who cares? Whatever. So my highest math I took in high school was like trigonometry. Right. That's bottom of the barrel math. That's like not even math. That's like algebra plus whatever. So I get to college as a comp sci major, and they're like, "Oh, well, you got to take calculus." I'm like, "Whatever, cool. I'm smart. Put me in calculus." They're like, "No, Mr. Washington, you don't meet the prereqs, so you have to take You have to take pre-cal." So I got in pre-cal, partying, didn't like it, dropped out, bro. Dropped out pre-cal my first semester. Next semester took pre-cal 1, got an A. Pre-cal 2, next semester got an A. Cal 1, Cal 2, got an A. Got an A. Just one of those things, man. You know, math is language of the universe.
Yeah,
you know?
Maybe.
What else you got, bro?
I got nothing, man. That's it. We can wrap it up.
That's it. All right, chat. Thank you guys for supporting us. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for giving us a little bit of time on your, Tuesday night. If you're in chat and you're not signed up, please go to NewOrleans.Football /subscribe. Link right there on the screen. You can pick a tier, pick whatever one works best for you. A few different options. We had a couple of people sign up today and someone upgrade their membership. Shout out to you guys.
Brendan and
Luke,
Jeremy.
Mr. Monroe, Mr. Wilson. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for the support. We really appreciate it. We can't do this without you guys. We sincerely mean that. If you guys looking for a nice, tight-fitting T-shirt like me.
They don't fit tight though, man. They fit right.
They make you look better than you did before. Like if I'm on a 10, if I'm a 5 out of 10 without the shirt, I'm a 6.5, 7 out of 10 with the shirt.
Sure, that's fair.
So the shirt helps you in that way. My wife even told me, she said, "Ooh, you got that NewOrleans.Football T-shirt on." So regardless, man, thank you guys for your support. We appreciate it. You guys be safe. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week. We out.